Hi, this is Berta. Um, I just decided to come on here and talk about a few things. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? I don't even know, but I will begin somewhere. uh, okay, yeah, well, so what I wanted to actually talk about is some things that's happened to me in my lifetime. Um, and I'm trying to figure out actually where do I begin. So where I will start is 21 years ago when I was 23 and my mom passed away. I was pregnant with my third child, and yeah, I was my mom's only biological child, but I had a sister that my mom raised, but her mom had came and took her back. That was just a mess. But yeah, she came and took her back, my cousin, because my cousin was we not even going to keep it a secret. She was on drugs, and she took her daughter back for her own selfish reasons. But anyway, so that's still my sister. But I was my mom's only biological child, and so I'm burying my mom. I'm taking care of everything because she left everything, like the insurance for me to. So, but I'm getting help, along the way, people helping me, guiding me. So, uh, I thank God for that. But 2 days after I buried my mom, my aunt was at the house. She had came around from my other aunt's house, and my aunt cussed me out 2 days after I buried my mom, her sister. And not only that, excuse me, but before my mom had passed away, I had to, like, I think it might have been 2, 3 weeks before I had to take my mom to the hospital to get her shunt. My mom was on dialysis, but the shunt had became infected or something. So I took her to the hospital. So they said it was gonna have to do surgery. And so I'm 23. I don't know anything about any surgery. I never had surgery, so I'm thinking, okay, I can go in there with my mom and everything. So I'm trying to go. They was like, no, you have to wait out, in the waiting room or whatever. And my aunt had gave me numbers, like her numbers to play before I went to take my mom to the hospital. But I didn't know my mom was going to end up actually having to have surgery. So, of course, I stayed up there waiting until my mom's surgery was over. And then I sat with her a while after surgery was over. By the time all that was done, couldn't put numbers in anymore. So I took my aunt her money back, and she was angry, and she basically cussed me out then too. And I told her, hey, my mom was having surgery, and I really wasn't worried about your numbers in so many words, but I wasn't rude or disrespectful. But I don't know, like, what's wrong with people? Sometimes just ignorant, just so much ignorance, and negativity and all of that. But my aunt had came around there because her daughter was there with me. Nobody liked her daughter, but because me and her daughter had got into it before too. But she was around there with me. She was real helpful. My mom passed away, and because like I think like 3 weeks before that, yes, me and my cousin was out in the street fighting, brawling, like fist fighting. I ain't even gonna lie, we was fist fighting. But anyway, you grow up and you learn, you live, you learn. But so when my mom passed away, we put that to the side, and she was there with me. But nobody wanted her there and stuff like that. So my aunt came around and it was like, you know, she big trouble. You need to move out of here and basically move with my other cousin. We get an apartment together and stuff. So the cousin that nobody really liked or whatever was trying to tell me, was like, they just trying to use you because your mom left you that insurance money. They're just trying to use you. They're just trying to use you. And my grandma was up there at the time. Just my grandma was still living. She came up, and I was talking to her, and she was saying, when a lot of times the people that they say crazy, they not crazy. Long story short, a lot of things happen that shouldn't have happened, and yeah, you know, she called it on a lot of things, my cousin, but we still got into it a few more times along the way. But what I do want to tell you all about is, well, so I ended up moving out. I did move out, moved into the place with my cousin, not the one that everybody had a problem with, but my cousin, we grew up thick as thieves, just like sisters. I loved her, I loved her like a sister. So, um, anyway, we were living there, and basically, I paid for all the furniture when we moved in. I paid the first month's rent, security deposit, and all that. And so I was supposed to get, like, she was supposed to pay me half my money back, but that didn't really happen. And along the way, that was when, like, the big, fat, big screen TVs was out, not the flat ones back then, because this was 21 years ago. And so she wanted us to get TV together. And so my boyfriend at the time, he was like, "Are you sure you want to get a TV with her? Because if y'all move, she gonna try to keep it, and then you're gonna be out of your money because you can see her behavior now." So I didn't get the flat screen TV with her, or not flat screen, the big screen TV, because back then it wasn't flat. So I didn't get it with her, and so that was fine. Anyway, what else ended up happening? Oh, so what ended up happening was I was working at the airport back then. That's when the airport was not paying decent money at all, and didn't have any type of medical benefits and stuff like that. But I needed a job. I had three daughters. Well, actually, I didn't support my oldest daughter because my godmom always had her, but I still had two daughters to support. And so I needed a job, and so that was the job I had. And I I needed money to get to work. I borrowed like $20 off my cousin. Yeah, it was $20 I borrowed off of her, the one that I was living with, to get to work. We grew up thick as thieves. So one day she called me from work and she was like, she wanted her money that I owed her and everything. Now, mind you, she hadn't paid me back a dime for anything. Like the first month rent, security deposit, all the furniture I bought. She hadn't paid any of that back, but she called me with a bad attitude too on that. And and plus, and then another thing, I was depressed, because I had lived with my mom all my life, 23 years. I was still crawling in bed with my mom. Nobody tried to check up and see how I was doing. It was like back to business as usual after my mom passed away when I was 23. 23, you still a girl. So, it was just like, okay, my mom passed away. I took care of all that business as far as her funeral, 23 years old. And then I had my baby, July the 4th. I had her. I was back at work in August. It was just bit bam boom, and the stuff that was being done to me and said about me was so awful. Like my mom's family, some of them, they tried to destroy me. I really, Lord, thank you. Lord, thank you. It's all I can say right now. I thank you. Hallelujah. But I'm gonna tell the story. I have not wanted to tell the story on here, but I'm gonna share it. I'm hoping it don't get too long, but if it does, maybe I can shorten it up, two parts. But so here we go. Some of the things that happened. One, I felt like I was being mistreated in the home that I was living with my cousin, where we grew up thick as thieves. So I stopped really staying there, and I was staying at another cousin's house, and then I was staying at my godmom's house, and stuff like that. But before that happened, I think I would stay there when I didn't have to work, and then I believe like after a while it was just like, okay, I'm done. I'll tell you about that. But I do know, I'm not sure if it was my day off or what, but my god sister, we were together, and I needed to go back to the house to where I lived to get some clothes because I didn't feel like staying there. And so basically, when we got there, I asked her to go in and get my things because I didn't want to be bothered. She went in, and so when she went in, my cousin was on the phone with another one of my cousins, and they were talking about me. Yes, my cousin that I grew up with like a sister. Yes, she was on the phone with another cousin, and so what ended up happening was the one that I lived with. We grew up like sisters. Gave my god sister the phone so the other cousin could talk bad about me to my god sister, and told her how I didn't know how to handle my business. I didn't know how to do what I was supposed to do, and basically how I was a bad mom. Okay, all that stuff, and this is where it stemmed from. Her brother-in-law was babysitting my two children for me. Her gay brother-in-law while I went to work in the evening time. Was I working in the morning? And anyway, I know he was babysitting. So this particular day, I go over there to take my kids like I always do. Well, I always did. And I went. When I got there, she was lotioning her legs. I remember it like it was yesterday because she had this smug look on her face while she was lotioning her legs. Like, yeah, I've been waiting to get this B. I'm about to get her. And so she was like, James said he not watching your kids anymore for you because you didn't pay him. And I told her, yes, I did pay him because I had to borrow the money from my coworker because basically, my boyfriend was supposed to pay. He didn't pay, so I borrowed the money so I could pay the dude. Anyway, he had told them that I didn't pay, and she was like, he want his money. And I told her, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I already paid him. He know I paid him. He couldn't even look me in the eye. He couldn't even look me in the face. I didn't have anybody to babysit my children. I had to call out of work because I didn't have anybody to babysit my children. Nobody called me before I went. Nobody warned me before I went. What kind of stuff is that? And then years later, I don't know how many years later, they find out that he was on crack. Yeah. But guess what? I never got an apology. You understand what I'm saying? Never got an apology, but I didn't pay him. No, I did pay him. Like, what kind of people does that? It, my mom had passed away only a few months ago. Only a few months ago, and I'm being treated like trash. I'm being treated like total trash. So another thing happened. I ended up with my cousin watching my children, the one that everybody seemed to have had a problem with, and I had my share run-ins with her as well. But she was an excellent babysitter. So she was watching my children for me, and I was getting paid every week, and so I was paying her like clockwork every week. And basically, we changed companies. I was still working at the airport. Basically, we changed companies at that place. We changed companies. So the company now paid every 2 weeks, not every week. I let her know that. I let her know that, hey, we're going to be getting paid every 2 weeks now. So I won't have your money this week, but it'll be next week. And the cousin that was talking about me on the phone with my cousin I grew up with like sisters is her sister, not the one I grew up with like sisters, but the one that was talking bad about me. That was talking bad about me. But anyway, so she called me. I was at my aunt's house. I don't know why I was at my aunt's house. I was always there back then. But anyway, so I was there, and so she called on the phone, and she was like, um, my cousin. Well, I don't want to. Tony, that was her name. Tony want her money, and I'm like, well, I told her that I don't get paid. I get paid every 2 weeks now. She's gonna get her money when I get paid. Well, she want her money now. She want her money, and you need to pay her, and because you don't like to pay, and okay, okay, and so I think this is when I called my dad down here, and I was like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I needed him to come get me. I was in tears, baby. I needed him to come get me because I couldn't take it anymore. Like I had to get from up there. I could not take the ridiculousness that was going on. And I did. I moved down here, and I was wrong for the way I moved out on my cousin. I moved out on her. I didn't tell her I was moving. I just left, and I told her I was just coming down here for a visit. And I called back, and I told her that hey, I'm not coming back. You know, so I was wrong on that because I should have handled my business a lot better. No matter how I felt like I was being treated, you know, I was wrong in that aspect the way I did that. And I do regret the way I did that. But at that time I felt like that was the only option that I had. I was hurting. Like I was hurting. I was ready to die. Like I was just ready to go. I missed my mom. But I'm gonna study getting the BS about how bad of a mom I was and everything like that. Like, where was the help? I'm 23. You know what I mean? I'm 23. Where's the help? Where is the help at while I'm 23 and you all talking all this raggedy ass shit about me? I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. Raggedy ass shit being talked about me. Yes, I moved down here and my dad, you know, I was still angry with him about a lot of things, but he's been there. And we've talked about our issues, we've worked on it, and we're a lot better. We are a lot better, and even his girlfriend at the time, she became his wife. We didn't always get along, but what I can tell you is I was treated a lot better by her. She taught me a lot of things that at home they didn't tell me. Like I didn't know I could go and get help for my children, like far as daycare and stuff like that. I didn't know, I just didn't know those things. But when I got down here, well, she was his wife, well, girlfriend, then became his wife. But so my stepmom, uh, she helped me to be able to get go and get help to be able to have my children in daycare and just stuff like that and just help. You know what I mean? Help so I could actually go to school because when I came down here, I went to school. Yeah, I went to school. I ended up going to school and everything up there. I was working and it was just a constant thing about Princess. That's my nickname out there, Princess. How I was a bad mom. I wasn't doing a good job, and my youngest daughter had got thrush. So that was a big deal, and how I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, and that's why she had thrush. No, children get thrush. Children get thrush. No, that's not even it. So along the way, I have learned a lot of things. I have been called a lot of things. A bad mom, you know, a bad mom, especially up there. Uh, but I thank God. I thank God for who He is. and who He's shown me that who I am. Because I did move home a few times because when I came down here, I was also with my husband, but boyfriend then at the time, and we had our shared issues back then. We have our shared issues now, so I left him and went home. Um, a few times he ended up there with me. We got married up there, but along the way, along the way, I have been treated like trash. Along the way, they while I was at home, people talked about me in front of my children in a very poor manner, in a very poor manner. And some of the things my daughter, I'm learning about now. One of them told me about, how she had put her pocketbook on the floor, and one of the family members was like, "Get your purse off the floor, or you're gonna be broke like your mama." What is that? What is that? My 21-year-old daughter up there now. She up there now. She was staying with that cousin that had, was starting all the mess. Kept calling me with all the mess. The one that was happy to tell me, that. But anyway, she was staying with her, but she ended up moving out because this big mess. It was a big mess. Ended up moving out basically because uh, my cousin um, didn't want her to see her sister really that's up there, and she, you know, didn't want her to see her. And the text, because my oldest daughter, uh, what you call that, screenshotted the text from my youngest daughter and sent them to me. The texts were awful. They were awful. So my oldest daughter went over there and got her. She moved in with her. She moved in with her and everything. So it's been a mess. And when she got back, because my youngest daughter came down here for the summer because she worked at the college. She was working with with her, where my cousin worked at, which was her godmom. And so some kind of mess got started over the summer while she was gone. And my daughter was just like, no, she's not going to be part of that negativity and stuff. And she ended up resigning from the job and everything because of just all the negativity that got started even over the summer because my cousin was still talking mess and stuff. It just don't make any sense. And she almost 60 years old. It really doesn't make any sense. But another thing that came out was how my cousin was like, how I wasn't nothing and I wasn't nobody, you know, and that my daughter was gonna be just like me, nothing and nobody. And she's surprised that she didn't run back down here to North Carolina. Look here, I'm happy where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm happy down here. My my spirit, well, I'm not my I'm at ease. I'm at ease here. I don't want to be up there. I'm happy where I am. And when I go home for visits, I don't really visit my family. Who I go see is my godmom. That's where I stay because I had been treated piss poorly while I was up there. I I just I can't even imagine treating anyone the way I was treated when my mom passed away. I got so much love from my grandma when my mom passed away. My grandma came from North Carolina to DC. We lived in DC then. Well, yeah, because my mom never moved to Maryland, so we lived in DC. And my grandma came up there. She was up there for the funeral, and she left like a day or so after and came back until I had my baby. My grandma was up there with me like a month, because I was going back to work when grandma was leaving a month, and right, and I came down here. I was able to live with my grandma, and I was able to get just that loving that I needed. While I was up there, my godmom, she was pretty good too. I can't say all the family was bad, but I had a pretty bad experience. I had a pretty bad experience. And I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Not at all. I love them. You know, I have forgiven them, but it still hurts. And then for these things to be said, start being said again to people I don't even know about me. Why do I have to be nothing and nobody because I moved back here? What makes you think you made it because you live in Maryland or DC? That's where you've been living. You know, I feel like I'm fine. I'm fine where I am and I'm happy. And I feel like as long as I'm happy, what is the big deal about going back up there so you can have somebody to still try to put down to make yourself feel better about you? No, I am not your kicking mat or whatever you want to call it. I'm none of those things. You know, I'm me, and I happen to like me. I happen to like who I am, and I happen to like how God made me. I like me. Okay, so get in touch with you. Love you. You know what I mean? Stop trying to put other people down to make yourself feel better about you and your life. I don't care. I mean, I don't care that you have a bigger house than I do. Who gives a damn? I don't care. I don't care about those type of things because guess what? Guess what? These things we can't take with us. When we leave this old world one day, we're going to leave all these things behind. So, do I care that if you have a bigger house than I do? I do not. I do not. I am happy with what I've been blessed with. You know, I am happy with what I've been blessed with. I live in a two two bedroom, two bathroom mobile home, and I'm happy with that. Okay? I'm happy with that. I was unhappy about the way I got it because my grandma passed away, and that's how I got it. I was here with her, but God set things up the way He set things up, and I was supposed to be here so I could look after my grandma so she wouldn't end up in a nursing home where she didn't want to go. So God, he set the things up the way He did, and and the mistreatment and all that that ran me here, I was loved. I got so much love here. And I can't even say, that my stepmom didn't love me. Even though we didn't always get along, I was loved. I learned how to cook. These ladies taught me how to cook. Not just one lady, but a few different ladies around here. So, yeah, up there it was ridicule. Oh, Princess don't know how to cook. She don't know how to do that. She don't know how to. People, you don't know what I know how to do. Stop trying to put people down to make yourself look good and feel better. If somebody don't know how to do something, then teach them. If somebody is not doing a good job at our parenting, if that's what you think, because everybody has their own way of parenting. But if you see that it's really something that needs to be addressed, don't talk to other people about it. Please talk to them about it. You know what I mean? Talk to them about it. Because I've been a bad mom for 21 years and I've never been a bad mom. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I know this now because I didn't at one time. When I was at home the last time, I was so depressed. I was so sad. I was suicidal. Yeah, I was. I was ready to take my own life when I was living up there with my children that I was trying to raise after I had left my husband. Oh my God, it was a mess. It was just a mess. I thank God. I thank God. I really do. every day. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Free from the judgment and the pain. Yes, I'm crying, but I'm crying because I'm free. I'm free from them hurting me and making me feel like nothing because I know my beauty. I know my beauty. And I'm not talking about no outside beauty. I'm talking about what's inside. And see, what's inside is what they trying to hurt because it's something beautiful inside me that they want to destroy. But thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. Yes, I'm sorry if it got too long, but thank God.